AdR, do me a favor, make some noise. When I say Ja, you say you. Ja. You. Ja. You. Oh my gosh, what an honor to be here today in Cambridge. I feel like looking at the camera saying, Mom, I made it. I'm at Cambridge University, spreading the love of Jayu, our own special flavor of love. So Jayu is a nonprofit organization that uses art to share human rights stories. And I'm going to share a little story with you guys today about dialogue. Last year, our opening night film was a film called First to Fall. And what First to Fall is about, it's about these two guys from Libya who are living in Montreal. And when the war broke out in Libya a few years ago, these two guys who were best friends, Hamid and Tarek, couldn't just sit back in Montreal while the war raged on and their brothers and sisters were dying everywhere. So they decided to go back to Libya and pick up arms in the war against Gaddafi. Hamid, at one point in the film, even says, the only gun I'd ever picked up was one that I found in Call of Duty. These guys never had any experiences with rebel fighting. So they go back to Libya, and the film documents them in the thick of everything. Bombs are going off. People are dying everywhere. But then they sort of prevail, right? Because Gaddafi dies, and they're free, and the country's liberated, and they survived. But the one thing that didn't survive was their friendship. They went through so much together. They saw people, like I say, die. They saw torment all around them. And being in the presence of the other just reminded them of all the awful things that they had seen, and they wanted to suppress it. I'm going to spoil part of the movie for you. Tarek, at one point in the film, takes a bullet in the spine, and he's now confined to a wheelchair. He's paralyzed from the legs down. So we somehow managed to secure the Canadian premiere of this film. And, oh my gosh. Yes, our surprise guest was Tarek. Yes, thank you. We're going to edit that part out. Thank you. Cut. Okay, thanks. So Tarek had never seen the film before, right? And he'd never even spoken publicly about what had gone on. And so we somehow managed to convince him to come to the festival. So the film comes on, we bring the lights down, we wheel him in on the wheelchair so nobody in the crowd knows he's there. And I'm sitting down during the intermission with the directors, and I'm like, how is he going to react? How's Tarek going to react? And they're like, we have no idea. He's never even seen the film. So we go back on, we do Q&A, he comes out to a really warm reception, standing ovation, everybody loves this guy, right? It ends. 2 months later, I get a phone call from Tarek. And Tarek tells me, Gilad, that day changed my life. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How? And he says, for the longest time, the way my community told me to deal with everything was to suppress it, was to ignore it, and pretend it never happened. That night at your festival, when I came out to such a warm reception, taught me how important dialogue is, and taught me how important it is to speak, to heal. My name is Gilad Cohen. I'm the founder and executive director of Jayu, and those platforms are what we provide for people to be able to express themselves and to start to heal through art. Thank you.